If you were scared of AI taking over the world, it might happen sooner than you think, because China is now creating some next-level human-like AI robots. These robots are different because of the way that they can mirror you. These incredible creations by a Chinese company are turning heads and sparking discussions worldwide. So without further ado, let's dive into China's next-level human-like AI robots. Robots are getting more and more like humans, to the point where it's hard to tell them apart. Recently, China's University of Science and Technology showcased some incredibly human-like robots at the World Robot Conference in Beijing. You might have heard about Jia, a super-realistic robot. It can do things like make tiny facial expressions and have basic conversations with people. What's more, Jia can recognize faces, figure out your age and gender, and even sense your facial expressions. These robots aren't perfect yet, but they're showing us how close we are to a future where robots could almost pass for regular people. And with advances in artificial intelligence, they're only going to become even more convincingly human-like. Meet X Robots, a company that's leading the charge in creating these incredibly lifelike robots. What makes X Robots unique? What sets them apart is their real-time facial replication technology. This means these robots can mirror your expressions and emotions in the blink of an eye. Imagine making a funny face at one of these robots, and it responds by making the same face back at you. It's almost like playing a quirky game of Simon Says, but with robots in the mix. X Robots claims that their creations can interact with humans in a natural way, thanks to AI and advanced language models. They're designed to understand what you say and respond accordingly. But here's the fun part. What if you decide to tease one of these robots with a playful remark like, "Looking like a melted waxwork there, buddy"? Will they shed oily tears or come back at you with some epic robotic banter? Well, that's a mystery we'll have to unravel in the future. The World Robot Conference in China. That's not all, though. At the 8th World Robot Conference in China in August 2023, you wouldn't believe the range of incredible robotic creations they had on display. This annual event is all about boosting the robotics industry, and it was held at Beijing's Etrong International Exhibition and Convention Center. There were lifelike humanoids with synthetic skin, four-legged dogs, and robots that play the role of servers, bringing customers their food and drinks. And if that wasn't enough, there were these super agile robotic arms with lots of joints designed for tasks in factories. They were there to showcase their abilities, but it did raise concerns among the locals about machines potentially taking over human jobs. In China, more and more people are starting to feel a bit uneasy about relying so heavily on technology for roles that used to be handled by humans. There were other impressive robots at the conference too. Li Boyang, the CEO of X Robots, mentioned that these robots are perfect for roles involving interactions with the public. Think about museums, tourist spots, school settings, and even scenarios where you need a companion. There was a single-port surgical robot that Shurui had created over in another area of the conference room. This robot was doing some seriously intricate stuff, like delicately peeling a quail egg, showing off its incredible precision. Single-port surgery, which involves just one incision, is already being used in hospitals worldwide for various procedures, including kidney surgeries and cystectomies. And guess what? There was also a French artist robot strutting its stuff, complete with a beret and a mustache. It was creating sketches for the crowd around it. But that's not all. There were also doggy droids making their appearance too. Take, for example, the B1 from Unitree Robotics, a company based in Hangzhou, China. They've recently unveiled Go2, a robot dog that can do a handstand and dash over to greet its owner, just like a real pup. These canine robots are shaking hands and even doing handstands on their front paws, making them quite the crowd pleasers. Some other robots at the conference. There was also a robot that could easily play basketball in a mini court. That means we could also be looking at a future where there are robot sports championships. And there's more. Say hello to Cyber1, a humanoid by Xiaomi that walks just like a person. Cyber1 is equipped with an AI interaction algorithm that lets it understand 3D space and recognize individuals, gestures, and expressions. It's like a high-tech marvel. Xiaomi says it can recognize 85 different sounds from the environment and 45 human emotions. Of course, There are also other robots there designed for the hospitality industry, aiming to replace human staff and potentially save businesses some cash. One day, we could have children lining up for ice cream served by a robot, while another robot is handing out cups of Chinese tea to adults. China is advancing in the realm of robot technology. China is the perfect setting for one of the world's biggest robotics fairs. It's not just because of its high level of tech innovation, but also because the country's leaders, like Xi Jinping, are pushing to transform the manufacturing sector. They're moving away from making cheap goods and toward high-tech production, with industrial robots playing a big role in that plan. In fact, a report from 2016 showed that more and more Chinese factories are bringing in robots to replace workers who demand higher salaries. And Kai-Fu Lee, one of China's leading AI experts, has predicted that technology could take over half of all jobs by the mid-2030s. Some employment sectors are in for a transformation similar to what farmers experienced during the Industrial Revolution, he says. It's a whole new world, isn't it? Workers all over the world have different views on robots replacing them. Chinese workers are getting a glimpse of the future, and it's a future where artificial intelligence, robots, and various forms of automation step in to take care of repetitive tasks. This insight comes from interviews conducted across 13 countries by the ADP Research Institute, a part of the payroll systems company ADP. Interestingly, when it comes to their views on machines taking over repetitive tasks in the future, Chinese workers have a different perspective compared to some other countries. While a minority of workers in Germany believe machines will replace them in repetitive tasks, workers in Chile, Singapore, the United Kingdom, France, and more share a similar viewpoint. On the flip side, American workers and those in India tend to align with the Chinese perspective. Nearly 2/3 of those surveyed in these countries believe that machines are on the horizon to handle repetitive work. Interestingly, the report reveals that millennials and non-managerial employees express more concern about the increasing automation trend. But senior workers appear to be more optimistic about a tech-driven future. This optimism might stem from their proximity to retirement in their positions, which typically involve more authority and control. The future of work is evolving, and these perspectives shed light on how different groups perceive the changes ahead. The robots shown at World Robot Conference are pushing the boundaries of technology and human likeness. From lifelike facial expressions to serving in hospitality roles, these robots are becoming more convincing by the day. Do you find these developments exciting or maybe a bit unsettling? How do you think these robots will shape our future? Will they take over the workforce someday? To find out more about how AI is already taking over our workplaces, check out this next video on how to run a YouTube channel using only AI.